Hello everyone. Okay, so this is the second video in a series of videos about FusionPBX. The first one, I just, if you want to start from that one, it says FusionPBX installation and configuration, and it's under our channel Lucid Phone. So if you want to start with that one and then come to this one. This one we're going to talk about a few things after, we did the initial configuration. We're going to talk about IVRs, how to IVR like digital receptionist. Some people mistake it by saying the voicemail. This is not a voicemail. This is like a digital receptionist when somebody calls in, where you can say, "Thank you for calling XYZ company. To do this, press 1. To do that, press 2," and so on. That's completely different than a voicemail. We're going to talk about IVRs. We're going to talk about the fax server, which means we're going to use FusionPBX to receive faxes and send them by email. And we're going to talk about a soft phone that they added recently to this version of Fusion, which is the Grand Stream Wave, which I really myself do not like. But and the ratings even for that soft phone is not that good. But anyway, it's very easy. That's the only reason I'm going to introduce it here. It's very, very easy to add extensions. And we're going to talk about other few things. Like recordings, because we need recordings for the IVR and so on. Okay, and also we're going to talk about time conditions. Okay, so the first thing, we will start with the IVR, the most popular one. You need to record your message. There are several ways of recording the message. The first one is like hire professional voiceover to record the message for you and then upload it here, or there's a text-to-speech software, like online, not software, website. You can write whatever you want and they'll convert it to you, or you can just use the Fusion itself to say whatever you want. So I'm going to start with the first one. So I'm going to go to applications and then go to recordings. There's no recording here. I just want to make sure that I am in the right, yes, I'm in the right host, which is this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a recording. I'm going to upload it from a file that we have created. So I hit add, and then I choose the file. So I have this file, called it main prompt, and then we hit upload. So here it's the recommendation for the file, what kind of configuration you need to have. So they recommend going 16-bit, 8 kilohertz, which is 8,000 hertz, 6 or 16, and you're gonna have it mono and a wave file. So that's basically what I did here. Now, if you want to record it directly from your phone, you can do that by dialing *732 from any of your extensions and start the recording directly. Okay, so let's listen to what we...
Thank you for calling MKN Group. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time.
Okay, perfect. So we uploaded it. We need it for the IVR. Now we go to the IVR. We add a new IVR, which is, again, that's the digital receptionist. We're gonna call it main. Extension, I'll give it whatever extension, as long as there's no conflict with other extensions. Language, well, it's going to be English anyway. Greeting, what kind of message, and that's the same message we have just recorded or uploaded, sorry, main prompt. And for the short one, we're going to keep it the same. Now, the options, let's say, well, you have to match whatever is happening here with the recording. So I'm just gonna add one or two because I don't want to spend. So if you press 1, you go to extension 20. If you press 2, you're gonna go to extension, let's say 21. And if you don't do anything and it times out, you can decide where you want to take it. So I'll say I'll take it to ring group 600, which I created in the previous video. And direct dial, this is a very important one. This one, you decide if somebody calls in and they hear the IVR, do you want to allow them, if they know the extension number, to dial it directly, or you just want them to choose one of these options? That's you decide. Like for big companies, most of the times they want to have direct dial enabled because they don't want, like, people to wait for go from one IVR to another IVR. So let's say 200 employees, I know the extension, so I just dial it. I'm gonna enable this for now. Okay, so that's basically what you need to do, unless you want to add more options. Save. Okay, so we saved that IVR. Now, initially when we started this configuration in the previous video, what I did is in my inbound, I put it to ring on ring group 600. Now I'm going to change that and make it ring into the IVR. Save. So basically now, instead of going direct to the extensions, it's going to go to the IVR. So if I call this number, okay, I'm going to call it my desk phone and send.
Thank you for calling MTN Group. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time during this message. For sales, please press 1.
So I pressed 1, and that will make extension that I have it already running on my and it's actually the same problem we had. Not a problem, because I'm using the, let me just end the call. I'm using the mic and speaker for recording this video, so I have no way of answering this call because of that. But I've tried it after I finished and it's working, so there's no problem there. Okay, so that's what the IVR is for. And if I do not answer, as you remember, it's going to go to the ring group, which also includes this extension. It's very simple. People like it. The other way of doing it, as I said, instead of going to the recording, there is, where's the IVR back? I'm going to go to the IVR. If you don't want to record or anything, you just want to have something written, and you want, like, your to change it frequently. So here, excuse me, instead of, like, picking one of the recording, I go to the say command. So I will say, and then I press this small arrow, and I say thank you for calling. That's it. I don't want to say much. And I'm gonna also copy it, and then I'm gonna make it say, and then I have to press this one. I'm gonna say thank you for calling. Save. Now after I save it, if I call, I'm gonna hear an auto attendant saying thank you for calling only. Okay. So let's do that. And actually, as I mentioned in my previous video, you can always go to status active calls and see what's going on here.
Thank you for calling.
Do you hear that? That's it. So, and then after that, timed out and went to the this one. So, okay. So I'll put it back to the whatever I had. Okay. I will come back and record it, but after I create an extension on my mobile phone. So I'll go back to this one and change it again to the recording I have, the main prompt. Okay, save. So that's about IVR and recordings. Let's go and add, like, this Grand Stream Wave is a soft phone. You download it on your Android or on your you download it either to Android or iOS. So here it says exactly what you need to do. You need to go to, I'm trying to bring this, I don't think the camera can capture it, but I'll go, it's exactly what it says. So I'm gonna go to account settings, and I'm going to add a new account here, and I'm gonna choose UCM. I don't know if you can see it, but it's the first one. So I'm gonna UCM, and it's asking me to allow. So I'm gonna add this to as an extension 23. Okay. So basically, what I need to do is I need to come bring my phone and read. Boom. So now it says extension 23. I don't know why it says scanning anymore. Okay. And guess what? It did not add the account. As I said, I'm not really big fan of Grand Stream products at all. Okay, so now it added extension 23 finally, and it's registered. So if you look, it's okay. It's registered. I don't know if you see it, but actually we can go back and under status registration, we'll see what extensions. This is the one on this computer, the microSIP, and this is the one I just added to my phone. And I'm going to go to accounts, I mean to ring groups, or to IVR actually. I'm going to the IVR, and I'm going to edit it and add option 3 that goes to this extension I have just created. Okay, and hit save. Now when I call, my soft phone here is going to ring. So I'm going to my desk phone, and I'm going to dial the number again.
Thank you for calling MTN Group. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time during this message. For sales, please press 1.
I press 3. So this one is ringing here. Accept or answer my. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Actually, I can hear it, but this phone cannot hear me. Again, these are like, some routing, some, again, port forwarding or something like that. But, and as I said one more time, I'm not really very interested in the Grand Stream products, and actually I know why, because here it's asking me to give access to the mic, which I did actually before. Let's try it again just to give them the benefit of the doubt. So I'm gonna go to history, send.
Thank you for calling MTN Group.
Press 3. Hello? Hello. Okay. So now you can tell that it's working. Sorry. So it wasn't the Grand Stream issue. Okay. So now this is covered. It's kind of like, you don't really need this. You can just create an extension on any SIP phone. Anyway, okay. So that's one off our list. Now, I'm going to talk about the fax server. Fax server. Okay, so there are no fax servers. Basically are fax extensions. So I'm going to add a fax server. I'm going to call it whatever, fax1, and I'm going to give it an extension number. Let's give it extension 300, and there's no destination. Number, okay, prefix emails. I think here you have to put the email that will receive the, why is it added to? Okay, that will receive the fax. Okay, that's the autofill from Amazon, from Google. Okay, and account code is correct. There's no destination number. Destination number, if you want just to put the number here, the number that is being called. So that's all what we need for now. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an option to the IVR. We're not going to send a fax, you're going to just hear the fax tone. So if you press 4, I'm going to send it to the fax server. Save. Okay, let's go to status active call. Status active calls. We'll call again.
Thank you for calling MTN Group.
So I pressed 4. Then you hear the fax going to extension 300. Okay, so that wasn't like, a successful fax, as you know, because I did not send anything. I just won. And I'd really, oh, actually it's in the log. Okay, so here's the result. The call dropped permanently because I closed the line. So this is the way to receive the fax. But how is the fax sent to the email? Okay, now we need to add an SMTP server to this, to the configuration, to the default settings. So that can be used for 2 things. First of all, it will be used for the faxes, and number 2, it will be used for voice to email. So if you want to use any of these features, you have to create an SMTP. And here's something new that we're going to learn today is I will go to default settings. Default settings, it has the setting of the PBX, everything. I'm now interested in the email settings, so here I choose email. Now here's all the email settings. I click this one, so I chose them all. Now here, okay, so this one is going, this one is under everything actually. So here's what I want to do. I am going to add, actually I'm going to copy, sorry, and then I'm going to paste it into this one and hit paste. Now actually in the coming video when we talk about multi-tenant, this will be very useful because you don't want to use the same email configuration for all your tenants. So anyway, I showed you how to do that. Now if I go here under domains and choose this one, you're gonna see the email settings only because I copied these ones. So everything for this domain will be the default. And don't forget, I've seen everything because I am super admin on this. But anyway, in this one, these are specific for this domain. If you add 200 other host names, whatever you have here is not gonna be used for these domains. If you want something for everybody, you go to default settings and edit them there because this is for everyone. Okay, so I'll go back domains and hit this one. Now, okay, so you have to fill out all this information. So the method is SMTP, authorization yes, and SMTP from, you can put whatever from email you want to use, whatever, like, and then let's say info at MKN group hours, save. And then you're gonna put from name, you can just put voicemail or whatever, and then you fill out the host. Then you can put, let's say the host is smtp.gmail, If you use Gmail, make sure that on your Gmail account you go there and allow, they call it less secure app. So that's something you do with your Google account. I found out that Google is getting more and more complicated if you try to send an email from an external source like this. I found Outlook online is easier. So anyway, you can choose whatever you want. Host name, you can give it any name or you can give it the same as the host, doesn't matter. And the most important thing, if you're using, of course, you put your password and then the port. The port with Google now it's 587, and you have to enable it, of course, and using TLS. So basically, except for the password that I'm not going to put now, everything is ready. After you put all these things, if you go to status and email logs, it's going to show you all the bounced emails. And also you can do a test. So of course now that it's not going to go through, but we'll see. Just see here that message failed because SMTP error failed to connect server. Okay, so we know that this is like we did not put any password, so that's why we could not send the email. But basically, if you put the password and you would send a test, it's successful. Now all your faxes plus voicemail to email will go through here. Okay, we'll move to the next step, and I would like to go to the core routing. So basically, core routing is going to show you all your extensions, and let's go to extension 20, for example. And here where you do call forwarding, this is like unconditional call forwarding. So let's say I'm going to be traveling and I want to enable this and transfer it to somebody else's extension or to somebody else's cell phone or to even to my cell phone. I can do that here. Call busy if your extension is busy, and then you're going to transfer it to another one. A good example is usually some companies, they have like 3 receptionists and they have a main one and 2 other as backup. So if the first receptionist is busy, they want the call to be forwarded to the next one. If no answer, like it rings, let's say you're not at your desk, also you can choose to forward it to another extension or number. Not registered, let's say there's a network failure or internet is down or something, you can enable forwarding. And remember something, even if your internet at the office is down, this one still is going to work because this is hosted outside your network, and the only connection with your network is the connection to the extensions, but all the programming or everything is in the cloud. Follow me is a little bit different than call forward. Call forward, you have one number, you forward everything. Follow me, you can have multiple destinations. So let's say you try the first one for 10 seconds, then if it times out, you go to the next one, and actually you can have a prompt like confirm if you want to move to the next one or not. And if it's busy, ignore. That means if you try one and it's busy, just move forward to the next one. Excuse me. And actually, no, I'm sorry, this one, yeah, so this is follow for this one, for the follow me. And do not disturb if you just don't want anybody to call you. Go directly to voicemail, okay? So these are the core routing that you can have, like for any extension. The good thing is like this is some of the features that you give access. This is available under admin. So if you give your customer an admin right, he can come in here and change these things without calling you to do that for him. The other thing is I'm going to talk about also, actually you can access the follow me also from here. Music on hold is very easy. Like, these are the default. You can create your own, upload it, and make it the default. Um, anyway, and some people, it's very important for them. So, oh, and by the way, you upload the music on hold, and you can have a specific music on hold per extension. So if you, let's say you uploaded your own music or company message or something, and you go to extensions, you can see here, let's say extension 21, I can choose whatever music on hold I want to have for this specific extension. Now, of course, as I have a recording, which is the main problem, you don't want that to be your on hold music, but you have the option to change it. Okay, queues and call center. We're gonna have a separate video for that. There's a nice, okay, I don't know why. Streams. Streams is very good if you wanna, like, have, because we have these questions. People used to the old traditional systems where they have this radio and they have this connector between the output of the radio and the input of their PPX, and when you put someone on hold, that's what's going to happen. Here it's much easier. You need it to be streamed. Let's say, I don't know, like, all radios, they have a URL for their streaming. You just give a name, put it here. I'm not going to use it, but let's see, HTTP teststream.com, and I'm gonna put the stream here, and you hit save. Now if you go to music on hold for any extension, I can use that stream as my music on hold. Here you go, test streams. So whatever on that radio, it's going to be their music on hold. I'm not going to say that. Okay. Now the last thing I want to talk about, what's the time? Okay, so 27 minutes. Okay, so let's talk about the last thing in this video, which is the time condition, which is very important. Time conditions, working, at least working hours and after working hours. You may have like multiple shifts, you may have the holidays, but I'm going to make it simple. Let's say a company works 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, and don't work on the weekends, and when the call comes in between 9 and 5 working days, it's going to go to the IVR 700, and if not, we're going to create another IVR, or we're going to create just go directly to voicemail. We don't want to, like, accept calls after 5. Okay, so I'm going to add a time condition here. I'm going to call it working hours, and I'm going to give it whatever extension I want. I'll give it like 888 for example. And here's the condition. Now pay attention, please, because it may be confusing. So condition, day of week, regardless the date, but it's day of week. So value is Monday to that range to Friday. That's the first condition. The second one is hour of the day. So hour of the day is 9 a.m. range to 5 p.m. So if any of this, like, if both, not any, sorry, again, if both conditions are positive or happening, like it's between Monday and Friday and the time is between 9 and 5, what I want to do here is I want to take it to IVR 700. Okay, now if this condition is not happening or is not true, then I want the alternate destination, which will be the voicemail of, let's say, extension 20. So done. But we're not done yet, because now how do I take the call to the time condition? Initially, when we started, we moved the destination to be from the ring group that we did in the previous video to the IVR. But now I don't want to take it to the IVR regardless. I want it to go through the time condition. So I change this instead of IVR to time condition, which is working hours. Save and back. So basically, if I call, yes, after working hours, it's a Sunday anyway. So what's going to happen? It should take me to the voicemail of extension 20. Let's try it. So I'm going to go to history and call again.
The person at extension 20 is not available. Record your message at the tone. Press any key or stop talking to end the recording.
Hello, this is a test voicemail. Thank you. Okay, so I have recorded a voicemail. Now, if the voicemail to email was enabled and I have the correct password, it's going to come as an email. And actually, let me see. Yeah, here we go. It failed because, of course, we did not put the password for the SMTP. But the good thing is it's trying to send it. Now, I can download it and listen to it, or I can try to resend it, which will fail again because we know. And yeah, that's a good thing. Now, if I want still to listen to the voicemail, this is like how the email is going to look like. But if I want to listen to the voicemail, I go to applications voicemail, and here's extension 20. It has one message, and I can listen to the message.
Hello, this is a test voicemail. Thank you.
Perfect. Now you can also, if extension, do we have extension 21 registered? I'm just extension registration. Yeah, 20 is registered. Actually, it's the soft phone I have here, but again, have this issue with having the one microphone and both are using the same one. Actually, I can try it to put it to 23, which is this one, which is working, we know, on my mobile. So I'll go back to application, time conditions, and I just change the alternate from going to voicemail of 20 to voicemail of 23. Now, okay, this one 23 and has an envelope in the front of it, that means the voicemail. This one, if it has no envelope like this one, it means the actual extension. Here, I don't want to bother like ringing the extension. I'm going to take it directly to voicemail. Save. And let's try calling again. History, send.
The person at extension 23 is not available. Record your message at the tone. Press any key or stop talking to end the recording.
This is a test message for extension 23. Thank you. Okay, perfect. Now I'm gonna open this guy and see if it's gonna give me an idea that I have. Actually, it does. So let me make this a little bit bigger. We're anyway towards the end of the video, so okay. See, it says messages. So I have one message. So I'm gonna hit that message, and it says voicemail. I'm gonna hit the voicemail, and
Followed by pound.
yes, ask me for the password. I think I put it 1, 2, 3, 4 pound.
You have one new message. You have 0 saved messages. To listen to new messages, press 1. Message number 1. Message from 41663911599. Sunday, March 22nd, 2020 at 11:22 p.m.
This is a test message for extension 23. Thank you.
To listen to the recording, press 1. To save the recording, press 2. To return the call now, press 5. To delete the recording, press 7. To message deleted.
Okay. So that's basically will conclude this video. Now the third one is going to be about two things actually. It's going to be about conference calls and about queues. Queues is when you have like a call center, agents will come and log in. So we'll talk in details with that one. I know that not everyone is interested in the queues and conferences. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, you may send us an email or call us. Our website is itsvoidtime.com, and we have this is for our VoIP service, both cloud-based and SIP trunking. And again, you can call us at these numbers from the US or Canada, or send us an email. Actually, you can also send to info@mkn-group.com. Thank you very much.